And all the discussion pre the game would have been about Geelong's start. I mean, they looked rattled and they wanted to actually impose that. The commentary around the game has been about one deadly sin, that of selection. But I'll give you 7 deadly sins of the catastrophe that were all on the ground. Now, why they were so rattled, I'm not sure. But they begin with this stoppage round.
Well, this is early in the first quarter, so lack of communication stoppage. Have a look at that. 2v1 Geelong in their defensive 50. Now, Tim Kelly, that's his man, Taylor Adams, that sneaks around the back into the hit zone and kicks a goal. It's a bad start, Jared, early in the game.
Yeah, and then Harry Taylor comes in, knocks out the wrong bloke. Stevens gets up and he just pinpoints Jamie Elliott at the other end of the ground. We get this disaster, knocking the ball down. Henry gets the ball knocked out from Koladashny. Then we go to the other end of the ground, and the jitters are evident once again. I mean, Gary Rowan, that is an absolute shocker. This one, there's a little bit of wind, but that's something Tommy Hawkins should have nailed. That's the 5th deadly sin. And then to round it up in this term, we have more disaster at the other end of the ground. Koladashny, that is just a mark you have to take. And if you think it couldn't get worse, it did. The first 2 minutes after the quarter-time break, the ball goes down, and we get this shocking kick from Mitch Duncan, who unfortunately is going to miss with a knee injury, and a great finish too. But let's talk about the deadly sin that everyone is talking about and its impact. I mean, I thought it was a strange decision to go with him, but I don't think the ruck element was the issue. Grundy in those 4 stoppages had an indirect impact on one of them, and that was a handball, but it still went through Koladashny's hands. But it may well have impacted on the jittery nature of players, potentially, but more specifically, all those mistakes were in the back line where he should have been.
Yeah, I think what's been lost in the whole conversation is, for me, it's not about the ruck. It's about you're taking your best defender out of defence. And what we do know going into finals or going into any big game is the ability is to have a really settled back 6. And I wonder how early the others knew that Blitzavs wasn't going to play down there. I suspect maybe it was a Thursday night or Friday morning. But the ability of just that one goal. We see the impact of Grimes. I mean, I couldn't imagine Grimes being thrown in the ruck. So the ability of McGovern. I couldn't imagine McGovern being thrown in the ruck. Even if you go down to the lower sides, Rampy. I couldn't imagine Rampy ever being thrown in the ruck. I just think that's the destabilising part for me. You know, the ruck was always going to be an issue, whether it's Grundy versus Stanley, Grundy versus Blitzavs. But get your best defender down back.
Domino effect, no doubt about it. I think Chris acknowledges that they probably made a mistake. He had his time again. Obviously, the rain didn't come. It was a dry night. But